And welcome again, dear friends, to Fresh Bread, these little 5-minute daily devotionals that we run every Monday through Saturday, God willing. This is Reverend Phil Anderson here, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church in Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church here in the capital city of Topeka, Kansas. And wherever you may be, we welcome you to Fresh Bread. So good to have you with us. Thanks to Tom Lynn, of course, our sound engineer, for taking these and putting them on our website, which apparently you have found at kaumc.church. Spread the word. Give it a copy paste and email it to your friends. Say, hey, I got something you might like to listen to. It's a good outreach for people. We'd like to be able to get these up even to a wider audience. And we don't know how many people listen to these, but we would love to see people really tune these in. Again, they're only 5 minutes or so. I think yesterday went to about 6.5 minutes, but we were setting up this story of the prodigal son. So, where do we go with this today? Well, we have already read the prodigal son story. It was found in this particular case, Luke 15, verses 11 to 32. We read that on Monday. Yesterday, we began talking a little bit about exactly what was in this story. So now today we're on Wednesday, March the 23rd, 2022. Amen. So a quick recap. We had a man with 2 sons. The younger of the 2 came up to his father and he said, hey, Dad, give me the share of my inheritance. I want to get out of here. I want to get off this farm. I want to go out and see the world. I want to live it up. And so the father, in spite of maybe some misgivings and some sadness, he gives the son the money, and the son takes off. You heard the old song, give me the money and run. Take the money and run. Well, that's what happened. He took the money and he ran. And he really got to where he wanted to go. You know, money will take you only so far, I found. It'll get you maybe to where you want to end up physically, but it may not really satisfy all your desires. And certainly in this case, it didn't. Because the young man, it just says here, he squandered his property. In this word, in this new Revised Standard Version says in dissolute living. But I believe it was the King James. I don't have it in front of me, but I believe the King James says he squandered his money in riotous living. I really like that better. Riotous living. That pretty well says it all. And, you know, when you got the money, you can do a lot of things. You know, the old saying, you got the money, I got the time. You know, you ain't got the money, I ain't got no time for you. So that's kind of what happens with people. They find lots of friends when they got their money, but when the money's gone, so are the friends. And all of a sudden, this young man finds nobody wants anything to do with him. All those people that he'd been out whining and dining, all that high life, those people were long gone. Something else that the young man forgot to do, and that was prepare for a rainy day. Prepare for the eventuality of difficulties. Put some of that money aside. He squandered it all. He blew it all. And when you spent everything, guess what happened? Something he wasn't expecting, obviously. A severe famine took place throughout the land, and he began to be in need. In other words, he was flat broke, and he had nowhere to turn. The times were tough, so he went out and hired himself out to be one of the citizens of that country, and that person went and took this young man and said, here you go. Here's your job. Feed these pigs. Well, I don't know about you, but feeding pigs, that's not one of the more enjoyable jobs a person could have. Now, I know people who have had pigs. Pigs are an interesting animal. They're very, very smart. But they can be a little bit on the messy side, too. And I'll tell you, pigs can put out quite an odor. Well, in this case, the pigs were eating better than this young man, and finally the young man, as one of the versions says, he comes to his senses and decides it's time to go home. We're going to talk about that tomorrow on Thursday. What happens when this young man goes home? So don't miss Thursday's edition of Fresh Bread. Until then, God bless you. Have a wonderful Wednesday. We'll be looking forward to seeing you back tomorrow for more Fresh Bread.